All right. I want to share a story with y'all about something that happened to me. And I just know that it's going to bless you. So in my downtime, I just happened one day to be scrolling on Instagram and I came across this young man who was trying to learn how to do a dance. Every single day, he's just making a reel using the same song, a very catchy song that I will not name because I do not want to get you caught up. But he's just inviting people to come with him on the journey as he learns this dance. I need you to know about me. I love a good cheer for you situation. I'm a cheerleader at heart. So before I knew it, I found myself, baby, checking in every day to watch this young man learn this dance. So here's where it became a problem. One morning, I wake up, I'm going about my normal routine, doing what I do, okay? The first thing I like to do is thank the Lord for just giving me another day. I like to thank my Father for giving me breath in my body, air in my lungs, blood flowing through my veins. It's just another opportunity to be better and closer to Him. But on this one particular day, I woke up and I found myself singing the words to the song. The song from the dance video, y'all. And I said, oh my God. I said, Lord, where'd it come from? And God said to me, He said this. He said, you put it there. Y'all, let me tell you something. Immediately, I stopped everything I was doing, fell on my knees, and I said, God, what did your word say about this? And He led me to Romans chapter 12, verse 2. I like the Amplified version, which says, do not copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good, which is pleasing, and which is perfect. Now, I know you're thinking this is a great story, Tanisha, but what in the world does it have to do with me? Don't you worry. I'm about to tell you. Here's what I need you to make sure you do not forget. The world has a system, and that system, the world system, does not agree with the way God operates. At the same time that the world is running its system, it's trying to get you to conform to its pattern. And we have a responsibility for resisting the pattern of the world. How do you do that? I'm glad you asked. It's by the renewing of your mind. The goal is not to be conformed, but to be transformed. And there's a literal boxing ring where God's way and the world's way is duking it out in your mind. So because we love the Lord, okay, we have to think differently. God requires us to not think like the world. So you have to say to yourself, in no way at all do I want to pattern myself after the systems of this world. I want to be transformed into a new person and do things the way God does things. How do you do that? By the renewing of your mind. Here's the problem, though, that we have as people who love the Lord. The way we operate in the boxing ring against the system of the world is that we allow things like how we feel, what's catchy, what's popular, what's trending to dictate how we think. And if you are not intentional about transforming your mind so that it reflects the system that God uses, you are going to miss your transformation. So how do you renew your mind? I'm so glad you asked. How do you stop conforming to the world system and start being transformed by God's way? I'm so glad you asked. You have to be intentional about what you allow in. I need y'all to know I didn't just wake up one day and suddenly had that song stuck in my head by accident. That's not what happened. I put it there. God said it right. Day after day, I was feeding my mind this song and this dance. And eventually it took a little root, okay? That's how the enemy works, little by little. A little catchy song here, a little dance here, a little scroll there. And before you know it, you thinking the world's way instead of God's way. But I need you to know, you do have the ability to measure what you feed your mind. And that's why I created the F7 values assessment, which is not just about your faith. It's not just about your fitness. It's not just about your finances, not in isolation. It's about evaluating all 7 areas of your life: your faith, your family, your fitness, your finances, your field, your friends, and your fun, to see where you are using God's system and where the world system has crept in a very little sneaky, subtle way. Because what I am learning, what God is showing me in this season of my life, is that the world doesn't just attack one area, it comes for everything. It comes for your faith by making you think that you don't have time to spend time with God, and that's optional. It comes for your family by making you so busy that you don't even know how to be present with them. It comes for your fitness by making you believe lies about your body and how much you are worth. It comes for your finances by keeping you in a never-ending cycle of stress and focusing on what you don't have and lack. It comes for your work by making you think you're successful if you're winning by the world standards, not what God created you to do. and definitely not if you are in partnership with him. It comes for your relationships with your friends by making you be surrounded by people who pull you away from Jesus instead of towards him. And guess what? It even comes for your fun because it got you thinking that scrolling on social media is the same thing as taking a break and resting and recharging. The F7 value assessment is going to show you exactly where the world system has a foothold, or it might even have a strong hold in your life. So go and take this assessment, friend. Go take this assessment. It takes less than 10 minutes. It's free, and it's the first step towards renewing your mind. You're not even equipped to fight if you don't realize what you're fighting against and what you're fighting for. And this is why I am telling you that I need you to take the F7 values assessment so you can see where the boxing match is happening in your life. Okay. So once you do that, we're going to start building a life that's transformed by God's system and not conform to the world system. We done with that. The link is in the description. It's in the bio. It's in the pinned comment. Also, make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video. I love you to life, and I will see you in the next video.